that clock.
Do it.
Wow.
That was exciting, guys. Welcome to the show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I know that made everybody's day right there. Look at everybody jumping in. What's up, everybody? It's the Triple Clowns. We're going live. It's me, G. Randall Johnson, with the beautiful Mrs. Big News, Sarah Marie, and always the truck stop burrito, AJ Ryder, that we see is fulfilling his promise, his bet. He is not going back on that bet, and he has to be dressed like a clown for the next week.
I know.
So you have the pleasure.
AJ, the Riddler. I don't even know what's going on here.
The Riddler?
The Riddler.
Oh, yeah. No. Dude, the Joker.
Now who looks like an idiot?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
Come on.
Oh, I know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, he's doing this in case you missed it on our pick show with Mark Patterson for the West Virginia Derby a couple weeks ago. AJ challenged Mark, and Mark challenged AJ to see, because AJ was high on Bourbonic winning that West Virginia Derby, and Mark was not.
Which is crazy because, you know, with that bet is AJ's got to wear like a clown thing. And he had a chance to go on air with Mark, which is much bigger of a gamble for Mark. Because, I mean, this is his livelihood, his job that he probably would have lost. Yeah, I mean, this is how confident Mark was in Bourbonic not winning, because there's no way he's still around.
No. And Mark called it. He said the race would come in 4-5-1, and it did.
Yeah.
And Bourbonic was.
Well, I mean, and
I know Mark is very particular about what he wants you to say right now, Sarah. So go ahead and say your piece, because then I have one thing to say, and then we won't talk about it again. I'll just look like an idiot the rest of the time.
Okay.
So say what did Mark want you to say?
That was basically it. That
he picked it right with the morning.
He picked it right on our show.
Okay.
And it came in right. And now AJ has to face a week looking like an actual
I will say this.
clown.
I still don't think I was wrong. If you watch the gallop out, Bourbonic had the best gallop out. If that race is a half a furlong longer, he beats that field, destroys that field.
Well, didn't
the fact is, yeah, maybe I was in a little over my head going to a different track and making a bet of this magnitude. But
now you look fantastic.
I stand my decision, and I can rock some fucking clown makeup, bro.
All right. Well, getting on with it right now. We do have today we're going to go over the late pick 4 at Del Mar for Saturday, August 21st. So if you're out there, we're going to go over that. So check it out. Big races, and we have the one and only he's going to give us a few of the races. I know that. We'll have him on and do that now.
He'll give you the late pick 3 at least.
Latest pick, but yeah. So we'll get into that because you probably want to hear him, and that is the one, the only Ellis Starr is joining us.
Uber Capper.
The Uber Capper. Ellis, you're live right now, so don't say anything crazy about his makeup.
I'm live. I'm not even wearing my hat. I feel so bad.
I know. I think this is one of the first times you haven't had your hat on with us.
If you want to wait, I'll run downstairs and get it. But
can we take you serious now?
As in, one guy's dressed in clown makeup.
You're going to question our show.
I just got the shine, but that's about it. So
love it, Ellis. It's always a pleasure to have you on. It's great to get you on, especially this weekend. This Saturday, we got 2 win and your ends in this late sequence, so it's a very exciting card. And there's a lot of graded stakes prior to what the sequence we're going to give out on our show.
I'm just really happy that Ellis is going to give me more than one horse at Del Mar, because every time I go on that, I only see one horse. We've talked about this before, Ellis. You know, I get mad because Ellis gives me one horse when I go in there. But no, so what we'll do is, for everybody out there, if they have any questions for Ellis, please let us know, and we'll put them up there, and I'm sure he can answer them if they're appropriate. And but we'll go into it right with you, Ellis. We won't take up much of your time.
Except AJ's just freaking me out.
I know. I should have warned you, Ellis. I really should have, prior to asking you to come on our show.
Yeah, I should put on some dark glasses.
You're freaking me out without the hat. So
well, as long as you don't have the sad clown face, then I'd really be
I think I might do that next time.
Next time.
You gotta switch it up, I guess.
Scary sad clown. No,
experiment as long as I have to do this.
But yeah, AJ lost the bet. That's why he's doing it, Ellis. But You'd hope. He doesn't do this to go out usually. But all right, so we're going to go into it. So Ellis, we'll just get you to break them down, and then we'll go over them later on so we don't take up too much of your time. So anybody out there, we'll comment on yours later on and talk a bunch of crap about them, I'm sure.
Well, you can stop me and go back and forth. I know usually I just kind of go straight through and then I feel bad.
No.
But we can do that. Well, let's start with tonight, the Oaks. So the Oaks is interesting. It's one of my
okay. Is this your show now? Like you just pick what and choose what you want to do? Jeez.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do
All
over.
right, let's get on with the Oaks. The Del Mar Oaks, Ellis. What are your thoughts on this field here?
Hey, you're really good at taking a guy down a peg. I gotta really give you handy for that one. Thanks.
God. I'm sorry.
All right. Anyway, yes. So 9, 10, 11. Anyway, this is my Keeneland Select blog for those. It's free. It's on the Keeneland website. You've got the logical horses going global and Madone, but there's a case to be made for the two inside as well, Closing Remarks and Javanica. And so pick 3s, pick 4s, you're going to use the 4 of them. But for the race itself, which I want to talk about, I think you need to key on the 2 higher odds horses because they both have shots to win this race. Closing Remarks ran really good back in April in the Providencia, which was 1.1 miles this distance on the grass. Beat a neck to Going Global. Was 4-1 that day when Going Global was 3-5. It was her 3rd win in a row. Of course, she won 4 in a row coming to the U.S. and then got beat. And Closing Remarks was off a couple months, came back, and I'm looking at this race, and she was entered in the San Clemente, by the way, which somebody's ran in, and scratched to run in the Fleet Treat because she's a Calbred. And you wonder if that was easy money, or you wonder if, hey, I'll avoid these horses and come back next month with the Del Mar Oaks in mind. And if she wins, fine. 7 furlongs into 9 is a great prep distance for me. And I think that sets up well. The other positive here, and there's certainly no knock on Juan Hernandez, but Rispoli gets on. And he rode her when she lost by a neck. He rode her when she won the Cal Cup Oaks in January. And, of course, him and Pratt, if you look at the big, giant, I should say, gradient between those two and the rest in turf races the last year in Southern Cal, it's unbelievable. So you're getting 6-1. And then Javanica, it's interesting because this race is absolutely devoid of early speed. And even Javanica is not that fast. She wired a field in allowance race, first level allowance, going 23 and 6/10, 48 flat, 112 and change, pretty slow. But look, there's no horse here that ever shown a desire to lead. Van Dyke should take the same tactic Pratt used. And she also was good. She ran second in the Jimmy Durante last year when Fluffy Socks shipped in, who's shipping in again for Chad Brown. And she's 10-1. So, I mean, as far as betting the race, I'm looking to bet them both to win if I get anywhere near, say, 3-1 or more. I'm going to key them, the 1 and 2, on top of the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a second bet is the 1, 2 on top of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. And 3 is Going Global, 4 is Madone. 7's Fluffy Socks, who ships back in for Brown. And 9 is Soaring Sky, an Irish bred for a really good European trainer in Jessica Harrington, who I will not let beat me at 12-1 for a Euro coming in. And then reverse it because of the odds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 over 1, 2. And that's how I'm playing that. I might also play the 3, 4 Going Global Madone over the 1, 2. Additional, it's not a race to make a place bet. So you have the exact a couple of times. That's the strategy. And the pick 3s, I'm going to use all 6 in the pick 3, which I'm going to give out because I'm going to have 1 ticket with a single in the 10th and 1 ticket with a single in the 11th. So you can stop and ask anything you want at this point, or
I'm gonna ask something real quick before we get into it because this is one of my picks. Is do you believe in the fact that Fluffy Socks coming in and East Coast, let's say, invaders have won this race almost like 50% of the time? Do you think there's something to that with Fluffy Socks coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. But she's 4-1, and she's not going to be 4-1. She'll be 3-1. So that's my only knock from betting perspective. Exactas is great, especially pick 3s will be fine. But yeah, Brown did it last year. He doesn't ship in much. Rosario's in for the big races here. He's taking off a whole day at Saratoga, and there are some big races at Saratoga tomorrow. So there's no knock on Fluffy Socks. I think her best is a little slower. Her last quarter 23 best is teeny bit slower, but on par, and she wouldn't be as surprised. She also does 3 wins in 3 seconds, so she's not as much of a win type. And when you want a horse that has, when you got horses like Closing Remarks, 2 wins in 3 seconds, Javanica, 2 wins in 4 seconds, but you're getting 6-1, 10-1 versus 4-1, probably 3. So that's the reason why, from a just betting perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probability, she's right there.
All right.
I have a question on Tetragonal. I like this. I have this horse in my pick. I know you didn't mention this horse here.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on him?
Again, I can't knock a price 12-1 for sure, but beaten by Madone, beaten by Madone, beaten by Madone, beaten by Madone. So I don't see a turnaround effort from a horse that just can't get by Madone. And I think Madone is as good as Going Global, Javanica, Closing Remarks. That puts Tetragonal probably 3rd, 4th, or 5th in the race in terms of it. Anything can happen. There's no question. And at 12-1, I would never talk anybody off a horse that isn't really that bad, but she's been beaten by these before.
Yeah, the horse must hate that horse.
I
Seems
know.
Like his bitter rival.
Look her in the eye and say, no.
Yeah. It's like
I got you, Madone.
It's kind
I
of
got
like
you.
the Swiss skydiver when she saw Monomoy Girl, like didn't
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. All right. So AJ, anything or will
No, I was too busy reading all the comments from people. Just
Yeah, I reckon lots of comments about AJ's beautiful face today.
lots of love.
So-
Lots of love.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, more attention, AJ, less to my picks. That's fine.
there you go.
Oh goodness!
That's why we
Yes.
did it today, actually,
But-
Alice, because you
Definitely shout out to everybody in the comments. We have a lot of our great friends, followers coming in. So good to see you guys. Let's move on then to the Pacific Classic.
Pacific Classic.
Classic. All right. Well, by the way, like I said, the Del Mar Oaks is my Keeneland select blog, which is on Keeneland.com. The Classic, the Torrey Pines, the Pick 3, and the next one, the Handicap, are on the Amwager blog. So you can just follow me, Ubercapper, Amwager.com. So just let more details than I'm going to go into here probably. I think Dr. Post stands out. I look at this race. I'm using Express Train. I'm using a bunch of others on, again, my Pick 3 tickets are going to be, I should get my paper so I have it here. My Pick 3 tickets are going to be, one of them is going to be 6 by 1 by 3, which means 6 horses, 1-3 for those that don't know. One's going to be 6 by 6 by 1, single. So here's the single here. The blinkers last time were really a key to a huge effort in the Monmouth Cup, of course, where they're not using whips. And he was ridden out without a whip. Rosario's in. This is why Rosario's here. He's here for Dr. Post. He's here for the $1 million share of the purse. Just a great pattern. Two of his last 3. Since he came back from the layoff September to May, Dr. Post had 2 1-mile races. The Metropolitan Mile was Dr. Post just stalked and drew off. I'm not worried about 10 furlongs. Quality Road doesn't get a lot of 10 furlong horses, but he's the sire of Dunbar Road, who won stakes at 10 furlongs. I can't really say much else about it. I mean, this is a race in which I could make the case for any horse, but I got to draw a line. Express Train, I'm not sure he wants to go 10 furlongs. It's Sandy the handicap. He made the lead and got run down by Idle. The other time he ran 1.25 miles in the Gold Cup, he just kind of 7th, 4th, 3rd. Royal Ship beat him. But the last race was really good. I mean, the San Diego was just professional. He stalked. It's great. Again, a race with not a ton of early speed. I'm not sure who's going to do it. Express Train, I think, might take advantage of that and go for the lead. He's never really led wire to wire, but he could try and do it here. And that's dangerous. I don't like his 3-1. Dr. Post won't be 4, but I'll take it. I made him 9-5 on my blog. I'll bet him at 9-5 or better. I'll make a decent win bet. I like him a lot. Certainly Royal Ship. One of the points I made in the blog, you see, and anybody looking at the PPs will see this. Most of these horses, except for Dr. Post, have taken turns. I mean, Express Train beats Tripoli and Royal Ship. Royal Ship beats Express Train. Tizard Magician beats Cupid Claws. Cupid Claws beats Tizard Magician. Tizard Magician beats Idle, and the Idle comes back to beat Express Train. Independence Hall gets beaten by them. Sheriff Brown gets beaten. Magic on Tap gets beaten by them. A lot of changing places here. That's why Dr. Post is the new face, and I like it. Plus, he is the fastest. He's got a 108 Equibase speed figure, and just mention it. He's got a 101 buyer, which is the same as Express Trains. that's really tops. And he's still a 4-year-old, and he's still improving. It's his 4th race of the year. So this is just another feather in Pletcher's cap. For in race play, I'm just taking 3 and 5, Dr. Post and Express Train over those two, plus Tripoli, Tism Magician, Royal Ship, and Cupid's Claw. So it's 3, 5 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I'll probably play as a trifecta instead of an exacta, because exacta is just not worth it for this kind of race. And then the pick 3, as I said, one pick 3 is going to be singling Dr. Post, and the other is going to be using all 6. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to single United in that ticket, and then I'll go deeper in that one. So that's how I'm playing this one. But Dr. Post will probably be my biggest win bet of the day, because I just think he really sticks out.
Yeah, it's a weird. Dr. Post is weird to me, because I do think he shows that improvement, that this is a better 4-year-old. And I know somebody just mentioned, I think it was Dennis, said no grade 1 wins, so doesn't show up for those. But I think this is a better horse, and this horse is getting better. I do get a little scared of coming into the dirt to Del Mar. It's never really a good thing. But I mean, She Dares the Devil just did it and looked good. Shipping into, a lot of times these horses that have ran here, that's the only thing. I mean, I feel like if that wasn't the case, if this was this horse's home track, these odds would be 9-5 on Dr. Post at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's interesting to me. Only other question I'd ask you about that race, Ellis, is the Royal Ship last race. Do you feel like that's almost a throw out because the troubled trip?
I just wrote what happened. I kind of wrote what happened on my PPs, and I don't view it as troubled. More importantly is the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup, when he makes the lead and gets beat ahead. And Mike Smith, is just an A top race rider. And for him to get beat meant the horse just may not have it. It's another horse that I questioned 1.25 miles. I questioned Express Train 1.25 miles. Dr. Post hasn't run 1.25 miles, so you can't question it. It's just and now it's a breeding and it's a mental attitude issue. And I think Dr. Post has the mentality to do it. It's also interesting, too, because I said Tism Magician and Cupid's Claws, by the way, are cutting back from 12 furlongs to 10, which I don't usually like that cut back. But it does mean they're certainly going to be around. And Cupid's Claws at 15-1 is a horse I think people must consider for their exact and trifecta.
Thank you for that. I have Cupid's Claw on my picks
for the classic.
And
I know, and obviously I work with my racehorse, so I know Tism Magician. I'm a big fan of his, and he always shows up, and he's just getting better. If he could be anywhere near the lead, he could be in trouble. They could be in trouble because he can definitely ride, and the way he blew Cupid's Claws away after Cupid's Claws blew him away before was kind of scary. But I mean, he did the perfect trip, and we'll see what happens.
What I said about Express Train applies to Tism Magician. If Tism Magician uses his 2-post to the advantage, if Pratt decides to go and Express Train stalks, then Tism Magician can get brave.
All right. So Ellis, once again, what do you plan in your pick 3 here so we can write it down? You're doing 2 different plays, right?
So the first, I'll just give the tickets out. The first ticket was in race 9, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, and race 10, 3, and in race 11, 4, 8, 11. And the second ticket is in race 9, the same 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, and in race 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, and in race 11, number 4, United. Okay. So two tickets. One's $9 for 50 cents, and the other is $18 for 50 cents. So certainly you can play them for $1. You hit them both if both favorites win, which you're going to need because, I mean, Dr. Post isn't the favorite. United's going to be 6-5.
Yeah, easy. We do have a quick question. Dennis wants to know what are your thoughts on the 7 horse?
Independence Hall. He's not that good as these. I mean, just look at when you look at running lines, and you see 3, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, 3 at this level. Nobody's going to beat Nick's Go. I understand that. The Idle Express Train race, and last time out in the Californian, it just, doesn't seem like the kind of horse that is grade 1 at 10 furlongs. Again, no knocks, exactas, trifectas, maybe second. Pratt gets off of a course to ride Tism Magician, which is interesting because they're both about the same horse in my mind. Independence Hall was a good 3-year-old. I remember the Sol Volante race, the Sam Davis, where he got beat, and I thought he had a chink in the armor a little bit. Was right, and then They still put him in the Florida Derby, which was a mistake. Then he was off for a long time, came back and won. And then they sprinted him, which was a mistake. And he's run okay. He's gonna make a good amount of money for these connections. I mean, he's gonna make $1 million getting these second, third, and fourth place checks. I don't think he's a grade 1 10 for a long horse.
Do you put any weight in the fact that the last time he won it was at Del Mar? I mean, because obviously Del Mar's a tough. It's been a weird track, and it's been very streaky. And a horse that's won here has got to have a little bit more of a.
I would normally agree, except when you look at company. So I look at that race and I see he beat PR, Radio Star, and Pyron, and it's just a matter of class at that point. So he likes the track, but it doesn't. A horse like the track doesn't move him up, in my opinion, to a level that could win a graded stake if he's not a graded stakes level horse, graded stakes level winner, and that it's just a cut in him. And wouldn't talk somebody if he goes to look 8, 9, 10 to 1. I wouldn't talk anybody off him. They're putting blinkers on. I'm not sure if the tactic is to have him closer up because he's been within 2 lengths of the lead. If the tactic is to go to the lead, then that's going to be really intriguing because he was 2 lengths off of 46 and 8/10, 110 and 6 in the Californian, which was in April. So he's fresh, 4 months off, which means he's fresh, means he wants to run. He put blinkers on him. It's possible that he could be out there running 47, 110, 111. Now, whether he hangs on, I don't know, but that changes the dynamic we talked about. Because Express Train and Tis a Magician both run a lot slower when they run towards the front. So it's potentially possible that Independence Hall could, under one scenario. I don't agree with it. I'm saying it's possible, AJ, that he could get out there and get really brave and upset.
He'd have to steal it in my mind. He'd have to just
Oh, yeah, absolutely steal. Yeah. Run them off their feet early and then just hang on late.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So let's go to race 11 here.
The last leg, we have the Del Mar Handicap. This is
who do you have here? Big surprise, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to be a chalky eating weasel, but when you got to make money and pick 3s and 4s, that's how you do it. You take open in the other 2 legs and you hope for the best. The Dr. Post one, at least if he stays 4 to 1, it'll be halfway decent if United wins. Look, United stands out. And then that's on the Amateur blog as well. Arklow and Say the Word are the other 2 that have any shot. I'll just say right now, I'm using Master of Foxhounds as my exact and try key, maybe the price to get in the money. And then you got the 2 early horses, which are Award Winner and Acclimate, who, if one or the other wasn't in the race, I'd say beware. Since they're both in the race, no matter how slow they go, they're kind of going to take away each other's energy, but they still can hang on for second or third. They're both, even though Award Winner stalked the pace and won the Whittingham at 1.25 miles. 1.3 miles, it's a little different game, and this race is a little different. But they could do it. But anyway, United, comes off the win of the Eddie Reed. Second last year to Red King in an upset. Red King's not the same horse. 9th, 5th, 3rd, 5th since then. It was a fluke last year. And because he had won the San Juan Capistrano before that, where this year he comes in off a 3rd and a 5th. That's Red King. So United, anyway, he just does nothing. He really does very little wrong. I was surprised he disappointed in the Whittingham, but he came back and showed his stuff. He shows up. Mandela's got to have him ready to go. Arklow has some really crappy races, once in a while, and then the rest are just efforts. He won his only start here, the Hollywood Turf Cup. Giroux rides him just fine. There's no knock. If they both run their A races, it's going to be a heck of a race to watch. Not a good race to bet because they're both low odds, but a heck of a race to watch. And then Say the Word. And of the value plays, he's the one to bet. I made him 3 to 1 on my blog. I'll bet him at 6 to 1 as a win bet, unless the pick 3s are paying huge. If pick 3s are usually paying well, then I'm not going to make a win bet too. He got beat by United. He got beat by Arklow, but he wasn't badly beaten. When he lost to United in the San Luis Rey, he was 3/4 back and coming on. When he lost to Arklow in the Hollywood Turf Cup, he was a length back and coming on. He's a grade 1 winner. He won the Northern Dancer. He was 5 to 1 that day. He wasn't a big price when he won the grade 1 Northern Dancer. He's banked almost $700,000. I don't care about the post. He's going to be coming late. And Joe Bravo got a new life since he came to California. You guys agree? he's riding with verve. He loves the competition here on the circuit. So I think he's got a big shot. Looks like AJ is not frozen. But looks like Sarah froze. And they froze on the other screen.
They did.
They did.
Or they're just standing incredibly still.
That's performance art, man. What performance art?
Wow. I didn't even notice that. Good thing you noticed. I was looking at the comments.
So you're gonna have to go for a second here.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, so the plays in the race, and again, this is very chalky. You play a bunch of different exactas with United on top. So like United the 4 over Arklow and say the word. United over Master of Fox Sounds, Arklow and say the word. United and Arklow over Master of Fox Sounds, United Arklow and say the word, that kind of thing. And then United Arklow and say the word over United Master of Fox Sounds, Arklow and say the word, and throw in Acclimate and award winner on some trifecta tickets. And that's it. So it's kind of an anticlimactic, and I'm sorry I didn't take a look at the 12th for you all.
Well, it wasn't the 12th. I think we were doing the 8th. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever race is the pick 4. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So what realistic odds do you think you're getting on United then?
It'd probably be 4 to 5.
4 to 5.
Yeah, 6 to 5 morning line, 4 to 5. I mean, Arklow will keep his United's odds from going really low because Arklow usually goes off at 6 to 5. But I'm thinking probably 4 to 5 or even money 6 to 5, something in those range is really not. Again, the only way you make money betting this race is pick 3s, pick 4s, doubles, pick 5s, of course, and exactas, trifectas. There's no win bet. Again, I would bet say the word if I'm not live in the pick 3s or if they're not paying well. My rule usually is if the pick 3s are paying in the $300 range and you say the word 6 to 1, if I made a $50 bet, I'd get that. So I don't need to. It saves me $50. I'm getting the same money. I don't need to unless I feel greedy. But that's it.
So, okay, you did say the word. Now I want to ask you this because I was going to wait till we covered our pick 4 to bring this up for this last race, but D'Amato has won this race 6 of the last 7 years. I mean, I get it because I looked at this as well and I was kind of like, okay, United, how would you not pick this horse? But then again, I'm like, oh shit, 6 out of 7. I mean, there just seems to be such a trend there, and he's got 3 in this race. I almost wanted just to go off the 3 D'Amato horses and play the numbers there.
Well, I mean, it's again. So I had the morning line. Now I don't have it in front of me. But say the word 6. Acclimate. I can't remember. It's probably
10.
higher. Huh?
10.
10. And Red King's probably 8 or 10. Yeah. Yep. And so Acclimate's going to go. That's his style. And they don't have any common ownership, so you can't really say one's being sacrificed for the other. Acclimate is a grade 2 winner. He won this race in 2019. Red King won the race last year, so back to your point, and maybe it's say the words time. It's his turn, for Phil, since the other two already have that. You got to account for it. Red King, I'm using in 3rd in some of my trifectas. I didn't mention that because he does come in 3rd. I don't want to leave him off 3rd. Acclimate wouldn't surprise me, but again, award winners in the race. So how do you make the case Acclimate can do what he needs to do, which is lead from start to finish? With award winner in the race. And, if they go slow enough, I mean, look, award winner went, when he won the Winningham, he went 46-110. You're not going to do that. And when he ran badly in the Eddie Reed, he went 49-114. When he won the allowance race, 112. Acclimate can go faster. I think they're going to just really, I think the 2 horses juices are going to get flowing and they're going to go really cuckoo bird. So of the D'Amato's, that's Acclimate's out. And the Red King, as I said, I can't make the case. So say the word could win. There's no question about it. I said, and I'm not going to be sitting on the sideline. D'Amato could win it once again.
It's so weird you say that because out of the 3 horses, like that was the one I was like concerned about.
Yeah.
I was like, I think the other 2 might have a shot, but I wasn't sure about say the word. No, maybe I'd just play all 3.
Look, I'm not going to talk. I mean, Red King won it last year. I don't see him in the same form. This is what makes this whole thing great. I might do this every day. It doesn't make me really any smarter than you or anybody else, and I'll say that it doesn't. It just means
one of us is wearing clown makeup, and the other one is just forgot
today, maybe. Sarah's back.
We got Sarah back at least.
We're
Randy-
back. The
Randy's
joys of when our
Randy's-
internet goes out in the neighborhood. That's fun.
Randy's out, getting a can of dip right now.
Get the what did I call it? I call it the moon landing hammer. When he had to give the camera a big whack, you get the moon landing hammer out and go figure out what you have to hit. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All
So
right,
yeah. So
yeah. No, go.
no, catch us up to speed, AJ.
No, yeah. So obviously we knew. Well, I don't catch you up to speed. Everyone's watching is up to speed. What about you? You
Yeah,
knew he was
else.
going United. He gave it out prior to.
I picked United. I said Arklow and say the word, have a shot. I said if I'm live in the pick three, say the word, it'll be a win bet if the pick three is not paying big. And I'm playing exactas with one exacta United over the other contenders, including Master of Foxhounds, and another exacta with United and Arklow over them, and another exacta United Arklow and say the word, and probably play trifectas instead of exactas again, because with 6 to 5, I'm hoping just to be live in the pick threes. If United and Arklow both run their best races, Sarah, I think it's going to be a heck of a race because they really never shown up together, and it's really good to see these two Grade 1 winners here. But then say the word he's also at the same level as them. His Northern Dancer win, his win in the Elkhorn at Keeneland is as good as anything Arklow and United have ever done. So this is really good rendition of the Del Mar Handicap. It
is. I mean, when I was capping this race, I really struggled because I didn't want to make my ticket too expensive. But this race I had a little bit of a struggle with because I'm like, there's so many good cases here for several horses. Now, say the word was one of them. I went back and forth with. I ended up leaving him off because my sequence is 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 for the pick 4. So in this last one I put in Master of Foxhounds instead of say the word, but I struggled with that really because I think say the word has a strong case here.
Master of Foxhounds is a horse. I guess I'm using him in second and third, and I might use him on pick 3 when I'm singling Dr. Post and go deeper, but I'm not sure. His best race in the San Marcos was good. He beat Acclimate when he ran him down. His last few were shipping to Belmont probably was a mistake. He's been off a few months. He gets to Stormo, who's riding kind of hot right now. When he gets his mind to it, I think he's a cut below in his best though. I couldn't use him as a win contender, but again, wouldn't talk you off him. Just the difference was say the word's best race, Master of Foxhound's best race. I go with say the word.
Yeah. Maybe I'll spend the extra and just put him on my card anyways.
No, you want to hit it. If you want to hit it, sometimes you got to be a little more risk tolerant.
Yep.
I agree, Dennis. Yeah, I have the power to put comments up now, by the way, everyone. So if you want to make me look good, I will put it up there. Speaking of which, did you know Dennis is a security guard at Churchill?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Told us
I didn't know
week.
that. Well, he, I didn't. Well, I don't know if I believed him or not. And then he sent me a picture of his actual ID.
That's funny.
All right.
Well, Ellis, I mean, that was a great breakdown of your pick threes. I'm going to put in the comments a link to your Amwager blog here so that everybody can get access to it.
Okay.
Ellis,
and the Keelan Select blog because one's the 9th and then one's the 10th, 11th. So even though the pick threes are on both, the individual analysis are on both. So feel free to it's just you just get it off my Uber Capper handle. They're both there. I'll tweet them out if I haven't already today. You can link them both. And they froze again. Oh,
yep, and make sure everybody out there you follow Uber Capper.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's always a pleasure, buddy. Always good to see you. We'll have you on again, hopefully soon.
Right.
And check him out, Uber Capper. Just look it up, Google it, Uber Capper. He's the only Uber Capper out there. So that's how I tell people to do things. I don't need that whatever it is. Look up Uber Capper and check it out.
No clones of me.
Yeah.
Have a great Pacific Classic day, everybody.
Yes, you too, Ellis. Have a good one.
Talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into ours after Ellis Starr. That was fun.
Kind
He's
of thought
always-
he was going to stick around and pick apart ours, but all right.
Yeah,
He's
too
a
nice of
tight
guy for
schedule
that.
right now.
He's a busy guy. That
He
is.
doesn't want to
He's
hear
busy.
ours. It doesn't even.
No, he's like, you guys are a joke anyway.
I'm pretty sure I scared him off. So
I think so. With the makeup thing, he was just like, why am I doing this? Why?
he's like, wow,
Why did I
this,
agree?
this is what this show has become since the last time I was here. I have to get out of here.
It's like, oh,
don't
Right
man.
when you
I don't
thought
blame you.
it was safe to come back in the water.
Sorry, Ellis.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's do this fast, guys, because
Who knows when another California rolling blackouts will hit us
Yeah.
next? So, let's start. So we did the late pick 4. I know Ellis did the late pick 3s as two different pick 3s you get to kind of look at. Well, we're going to start with race 8, which is an allowance optional claimer. We got 7 furlongs here, 72,000 at stake. This is for 3-year-olds and up. AJ, who do you like?
So this whole sequence I hated, strictly because every time I went through it, I was like, I want this horse on the ticket too, though. So this is going to be like a more expensive ticket than I normally actually do, just because I feel like there's so many things that I can make a case for. So in this one, I have 2 that I like for sure, and then I might throw in another one or another 2 possibly. The one risk reward, that Baffert horse who looked like a monster last time. And I'm not a huge fan of the maiden to allowance jump, when they break their maiden, come to the allowance. But the fact that the other Baffert horse that was in that maiden special weight that risk and reward won came back and then looked like another monster that Baffert's got out here. It just makes me think, okay, this horse might be the real deal. So I am going to include the one on my ticket. I think 5 to 1 is a pretty solid price for it. The other one, Dream Shake, who we've talked about before, especially on the whole Derby trail earlier this year. And the one thing that always sticks out to me is that Jackie's Warrior Pate Mile, where Dream Shake just lost by a head. That's been one of my favorite races kind of this whole year, honestly. And then since then, the Woody Stevens, but now comes back out here to its home track where it ran its first couple races on the dirt. Obviously, it was on the turf last time, but comes back to this Del Mar dirt, the Southern California dirt. I like it here. 7 to 2 is not a great price, but I think it's too strong of a horse to leave off the ticket. And then I'm kind of in between 2 other horses. One is going to be a horse that I'm pretty familiar with. I got to stop touching my face because it just gets my fingers all messy. It's been itching this whole time, and I can't touch it. Otherwise, I'm just going to get white shit all over my stuff. The other one, a horse I'm familiar with, is Family Biz. Family Biz is kind of a confusing horse because this horse has looked terrible as a claimer out in New York, has looked good as a claimer, looked good in allowance level races, and looked bad in allowance level races. So it's kind of all over the map. But I like maybe the second time now here at Del Mar, maybe we'll get more of an effort like it had against what was it? The allowance race it won at Aqueduct, the big one. Which I gotta find out. Aram and Yankee Division were in that race. Those are 2 pretty good New York turf horses, especially at a mile. And it came out and kind of blew the doors off the place that day. So this horse has a big effort in it. I don't know if we'll get it, but at 8 to 1, I would imagine it's probably going to go off higher come post time. So that's an interesting kind of horse that I might put in there. And the other one is Positivity. And the reason is this horse ran in big company early on, didn't look great the last few, was gelded, and then Doug O'Neill decided, you know what, I'm going to sweep this horse up, and then I'm going to throw it into 72K allowance race. Obviously, there's a lot of confidence there. So he clearly sees something in this horse, especially, comes back, gelded, comes to Del Mar, and just blows the doors down. It runs a massive number and massive time in a claimer. So I think you keep Umberto on. I think O'Neill knows what he's doing. So I know it's 4 to 1 and it's not a huge price, but it's also might be worth sticking on the ticket too.
All right. So what were those? You get 4, right? So that was.
I'm going 1, 2. I'm either going to do the 7 or 9. I can't decide. For the sake of this show, let's throw the 9 in there. No, let's throw the 7 in there. So I'll go 1, 2, 7.
All right, 1, 2, 7. All right. All right. So I'll start off by saying I do agree with you. 7 was my top choice. I mean, the big thing, horse for the course. I mean, you hear that all the time. Del Mar definitely has proven that. Like, it's a different horse there. It looks like a different horse there. Positivity. I think O'Neill, we'll have him all worked up, and I think this horse could just go pretty close. I think closer to the front than people think as well. I just think this horse looked really good last time. And 7 furlongs, I think is a good distance. So I'm going to do the 7 on top. The other one I was looking at was the make sure I got to do the numbers now. A little bit of metal. The 8 horse here. A little bit of metal, I think, is another O'Neill horse here, which is always curious. I think Kyle Frey goes on. He's been riding well. I like that. I think this is a perfect distance for this horse. I do believe. I think so. I think this horse is a bit of a closer at 6. So I think 6.5. So I think 7's not going to be a problem. I think it's a solid horse. So I'm going to go with the 2 O'Neill horses, and I'm also going to do the 1 here, risk and reward, like you talked about, right? And I like risk and reward because this horse could just possibly just go and steal it. I mean, it jumped in hot off a layoff. Like I think AJ brought this up. Like when you go off that layoff and something was up, last year when you're at 55 at the maiden, you run not that great against whatever. Then you come back, you must be training well enough or whatever to throw them in a 70 and win like that. So, I mean, what's 72? So I'm going to go with that too. So I'm going to do 1, 7, 8 here, which
and like I said, too, the other Baffert that was in that race came back and ran a 1:15 time for him and blew the doors off another made 72.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jay has my same pick. Is that Jay?
Yeah, he does.
I just took Jay's pick, actually. I just made
that's it. Jay, could you also put in the next 3 legs as well so Randy can give this?
He's actually just texting me. Don't put it out loud, though, Jay. Come on.
Jay didn't understand that part. Yeah. All right. I went 3 deep here. I'm with both of you on the 7. So I'm not going to say too much about that, but 4-1, not the greatest price, but a pretty good horse to be playing on your ticket. I like the 6 here. Scary Fast Smile at 6-1. We got Tyler Bays and Mark Glatt. This horse is dropping. Well, he's going up in class and a little bit up in distance, going from 6 to 7. I think this horse has a really great speed here for this race to be competing here. But to me, it's very hard to not play Dream Shake, the 2. This horse has just been competing in the most difficult competition the past few races. I mean, he's gone against Jackie's Warrior, Drain the Clock, Rock Your World. You name him, he's gone against. So I think now is this horse's time to shine. They're kind of dropping him down, hopefully going to get his confidence up with a win here. To me, it's hard not to put Dream Shake on your ticket here. They're taking the blinkers off. There's just a huge case here with Dream Shake to put him on your ticket. So for me, it was really hard. So I went 2, 6, 7.
I don't like the 6 because I think he's going to beat the 1 at the turn. And if he can't, which I don't think he will, that's my problem. I think I have to go one or the other.
And also, too, because I looked at the 6, and at first glance, again, you're right. It does look like a horse I wanted to play. And then I've seen that little CA as one of the stipulations on all of its races it looked really good. It was only Calbred races. So I was a little shaky. I'm thinking that, okay, maybe this isn't as good of an effort as I might think it is.
Yeah. I don't like Dream Shake's pattern here. I think it's a decline pattern, which kind of scares me. Old
see, I
Dream
don't-
Shake could have win. Yeah, I don't know if this Old Dream. He's declining his pattern. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, but he's coming back home though. That was like kind of my
Yeah,
my
he's
big
coming
thing.
back home. I think what they're doing is he was just competing at a level that he wasn't able to.
But he went to the turf.
strong
He tried
with.
that. Like, there's a
I
point where
know.
it seems like it's a little, I don't know, desperation.
I
is the
I
word,
think this
but-
race is so that
I mean,
if he wins, it's gonna be a confidence builder race. And then, okay, let's
it's
plan
such
the
a
next
weird
route.
thing. It's such a weird thing too, because this would be the Pat Day Mile winner, had there not been one of the most unbelievable performances by Jackie's Warrior, like we'll see all year.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
Jackie's Warrior Pat Day Mile was incredible, and then all of a sudden now this horse who just barely got edged by it, and so I don't know. I think it should be the winner. Who knows how differently this horse is?
I'm
just going.
surprised this horse
Win
isn't better than 7-2 morning line. Actually, I figured. This is such the class in the sense of where they're going, but
Mhm.
because of what you said. But I don't like the decline pattern. Listen, you're going to give me 7-2 on the horse, which I don't think it'll go off. Give me 4-1. Geez, I'm going to jump on it. But yeah. But that's what it is. So you have the
I did 267.
267. All right, let's
Yep.
move on.
All right, race 9. We got the Del Mar Oaks, Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks for 3-year-olds and up, 1.8 on the turf for $300,000. AJ, who do you like here?
Clearly going global. I have some similar kind of things that I think Ellis said. Going global, I can't leave him off the ticket. Looks too good. I know it got beat last time out, but it was a mile, so I can forgive that. I am going to throw out Madone. I'm not even going to play that horse. I don't think the distance is going to be kind to this horse. It's ran it one time, and it was beaten by 10 lengths. So 5-2, I'm going to stay as far away from that as I possibly can. The one closing remarks, though, I love the idea of the fact that this horse kind of just missed a Going Global, who's in this race now twice, up at Santa Anita, once at this distance, and then now comes back to Del Mar, where this horse is training really well. So 6-1, I think, is an awesome price, and I think that's a good enough angle for me, especially on a track like Del Mar, who knows what can happen a lot of times. I think the closing remarks to me is probably my favorite horse, my favorite play here at 6-1. And then I'm going to throw in Fluffy Socks, the New York, who's been up in New York the last few times. I've seen this horse run. I've seen it run against very good horses. And you get a closer, you get Rosario. Yeah, I'll take that.
All right. So I've been starting to get a little bit into the one as well as you guys made your points with him, but I didn't put him on at first. But I'm only going 2 here, so I did have another horse I wanted to use, and that might be the one. But definitely going global. Tough Trip, can't leave out. That's my notes on that horse last time. I think this horse is the best horse in the race. But Fluffy Socks, East Coast. Like I said, I think it's a crazy stat of one of the last 6 out of 12 or something is an East Coast horse coming here to win this, which that's big. That's a big number to come over here and do it. Every time that we've seen it done, they get here and they just do it. They're just better turf horses a lot of times. So, I have to go with Fluffy Socks. I like that horse a lot. If I just had 2, I'd play those 2. And I did have a big note to fade the 4. And if you look, you know how many times that pattern works, that every other race you suck. How many times have we seen that?
We've seen
And
that.
look at that 4. Every other race it takes off, then runs big. So guess what? Due to take this one off. I would go probably 2 deep. If I'm feeling frisky, I might throw the 1 in there, but I'm just going 2 deep. Going global is the horse I would play if it wasn't a New York horse coming in here with that angle. With Fluffy Socks at 4-1 especially, gotta use her. So I'm gonna go 3-7.
3-7.
And fade in the 4 big time.
All right. I took the 3 as well. I'm with AJ here on the 1. He won the last summer at Del Mar. This is kind of a tough horse. I'm really intrigued by how he's been racing here. But I brought this up with Ellis on air. I'm on the 8 here to Tetragonal at 12-1 for the price. I think it's a really good good horse to have to your ticket. You know, he got third last time out to Madone and Going Global. I agree with AJ and what Randy's been saying about Madone. I couldn't put this horse on my ticket. I tried, I looked, I don't think this horse has the distance. This is where it's really going to get challenged.
Well, he's always been closing on him too. If he had that extra distance, he might have beat him all those times. Well, except for the time he came in 7th against him.
But I'm thinking here now, you know, with the distance, I think Tetragonal has a shot to hit the board. I think it has a shot here. I think Madone's going to fade and not going to be able to perform at 1 1/8. So I like the 8 here to give it a shot. So I went 1, 3, 8.
What? 1, 3, 8. All right, let's move on.
All right, let's go to the Classic, the Grade 1 Pacific Classic. This is a win in your end for the Classic. We got 1 1/4. 3-year-olds and up, $1 million at stake. AJ.
Here's what's funny too is I'm almost glad. I kind of wish Ellis was here for the whole thing, but I'm almost glad he already went through because I was going to take Dr. Post, and I thought for sure, and obviously I have a little bit of a connection to Dr. Post. That was a big component of his for during his 3-year-old year. I thought he was going to be a lot better, but I think coming back now to this one, what I love is, and Ellis brought it up, you put Rosario on. It was a great closer, and this is a closing horse. This is a match that's needed to have been made a year ago. I think this is the perfect jock for him. I think the fact that he went again to Monmouth without a whip and got him to close there, you know, I think it's huge for me going into this race. 4-1, I love that. So I think that's a great combo, and I think that's a strong, strong play. I don't know how many times I had to look at Tiz Magician before I decided I don't know if I can do it or not, because this is a horse. Is there a lot of owners in Tiz Magician? Or are we going to get a good price on him or no?
There's not like some other horses owners, but not really. There's
I see 1 to 5, I see 5 to 2, I see 3 to 5. I mean, obviously
he doesn't move as much as other horses, but he'll move a little. And you also got people that'll be there because there's 2 other horses running the same day that have a bunch of owners. So you're gonna have a lot of gamblers that have interest with my racehorse. Yes. So he'll move. He'll go off under.
And that's kind of what scared me about him, is just strictly because I don't know if I'm in love with the horse enough to play him. And I know especially I'm not going to get probably a great price. I'm not going to get 5 to 1. That was kind of my thought process. So I'm not going to include him on the ticket, but I do think, I mean, if he beats me, he beats me. So be it. The 1 Tripoli, I love how this horse has now come to the dirt, is 1 for 2, lost to Express Train. Looking very strong. I think it's only going to get better as it stays on the dirt. So I'm going to throw the 1 in there. So I'm going 1, 3, and then I'm going to toss Express Train, and I'm going to give you the weirdest angle ever. Why? Is because when I looked at its works and I seen it had run 6 furlongs the last 3 times out. And then I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I went back and looked. Every time this horse is trained at 6 furlongs, the next race it loses every single time. So I'm going to toss Express Train just based off that, because I have to find an angle to bring this down a little bit. So that's my anti-Express Train angle. Take it as you will. The other one I will include is Royal Ship. He's only got 1 win this year, but he has looked very impressive in every single time it's ran. It's always game. It's always ready to work, and is always around. I think maybe this might be the time it just pops, because it's run some massive numbers down here in SoCal this year. So Royal Ship 7 to 2, I'll throw that in there. So I'm going to go 1, 3, 4.
All right, 1, 3, 4. I mean, Dr. Post is tough to play against. I did play Dr. Post, but my first one is I do like Royal Ship. And like I said, and it's funny that Ellis said that, because there was something about him goes by when he went by Country Grammar, and then Country Grammar went back by him. That's a weird thing for a horse. You know what I mean? That shows something, and that scared me. But do I think this horse is the best horse in the race, especially at 7 to 2? He totally might be here. The reason like Express Train being favored over, I don't get it. Express Train is like one of those horses that, I mean, does he have a distance? I've seen him close at like longer distances, but not when he's near the lead. It's odd. Like he'll catch a tiring horse, and you're like, oh, he has a distance. Then you look, and does he not? I mean, he was a good sprinter before. I mean, I always thought he was a sprinter. And they stretched him out. He did okay, but I don't think a mile and 1/8 for him. So I am totally fading him. So I do like the 4, and I like the 3 as well. I do like how Dr. Post added blinkers this time. I think he's going to go be way more forwardly placed in this race than we think. I'm going to go with Tiz the Magician just because he is a hard worker horse that basically could if he gets near it, there's no horse that's going to catch him. And that's just what it is. I mean, so if he gets a great trip and we have some people burning in the front, because I do think Independence Hall is just going to get sent and try to steal it. And that'd be the only way that horse can win. And I think there's going to be horses that chase. I think you're going to see one of the bigger ones chase. I don't know if, Sheriff Brown will or anything, but I think you're going to see horses chasing. And if Tiz can sit back, I mean, he likes to pass horses and he likes to extend. So I got to put him on a ticket. I don't think that odds will move that much on the ticket because it's a Pacific Classic. It will take a lot of money. And people are now working that angle to bet against Tiz the Magician because they think it's going to take money. And I've been noticing that a little bit as well. I mean, Got Stormy went off 12-1. I mean, enough said, right?
Well, I mean, the last time I was at Del Mar, it went off 1-5, then 5-2, then 3-5. I mean, that the last 3 times it's ran, it's taken a shit ton of money. So that's, and rightfully so too, because it was always a competitor in those races. But still, if the morning line was like 15-1, I'd be fine with it.
If it wasn't the Pacific
it wasn't going to
Classic,
take that much. Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't the Pacific Classic, I would say, the Pacific Classic is going to take a lot of money. So, I mean, listen, I think it might be a drop, but Tiz Magician at 3-1. No, I mean, why? I mean, he's a marathon horse as of now. I mean, and that's what he is. So doesn't mean he can't win, but I understand that handicapping wise. But so I'm just going to go with 2, 3, 4, and really Tiz is just my wild card. I don't see anybody else winning this race besides those 3. Tripoli's not a bad one either. I went back and forth with 1 and 2, but I think it's the 4 inside horses. I really do. I'm not crazy about Express Train or Independence Hall and Cupid's Claws. I mean, second off the layoff, but whatever. I think Sarah's going to talk about that horse. So
I am. Yeah. That was my long shot here. So I'll mostly just talk about him. I did take Royal Ship. I just think this horse is really incredible how he's been performing. Tiz the Magician's another one that I think is a really interesting case for the price. Yes, the odds are going to adjust just because of the My Racehorse money, but definitely a horse you guys should look twice at. But I am interested here for price. Cupid's Claw, 15-1. We got the 9 horse. This horse has lost and has won to Tiz the Magician at 1.5 miles. I think, though, what Umberto really needs to do with this horse, Umberto needs to have him either mid-pack or towards the front for this horse to have a shot. And I don't think there's a reason why he couldn't do that. He's done it before. But for the price, this horse cannot close in this kind of field. But if Umberto really positions him in the right place, like I'm saying, I think mid-pack will be great. He has a great closing. But 15-1, I couldn't not play him for that price, especially because I was taking Royal Ship. I wanted to put some value in there with the 7-2 shot. But I was with you guys. I couldn't take Express Train. And Dr. Post was a very good looking horse. I kind of struggled there with him, but without having to go too deep, I just went 2, 4, 9.
Yeah. Well, Cupid's Call will probably win the gallop out, if that makes you feel any better. Because that horse looks like he could run 2 miles before. Sometimes he used to not start running until about 1.25 miles. But all right.
All right, let's move on to the final leg. We have the Del Mar Handicap, which is another win and you're in for the Longines Turf. We got 1 mile 3/8, $300,000, 3-year-old and up. AJ, who do you like?
I don't know if you guys were on when I brought this up. I think you guys.
I caught the last you were talking about acclimate.
A little bit. So D'Amato has won this race the 6 of the last 7 years, and he's got 3 horses in this race. I was kind of high on 2 of them. Ellis was high on 1 of them. So I think if I take out Positivity in the first and I just go with the 2 and the 1, I'm going to play the 3 D'Amato horses and United. If I do include Positivity, then I'm going to have to make a decision because I just cannot leave United off because I will feel like an idiot when he wins. So that being said, since Sarah and Ellis were kind of bigger on Say the Word, I will make Say the Word one of them. And then Red King, I don't know if I can choose between. Fuck it. I'm going to do United and the 3 D'Amato horses. I don't care. It's an expensive ticket, but screw it.
It's a big day of racing. You got to play money anyways.
Yeah.
All right. No, I like Acclimate is actually my top pick in this race.
Thank you. All right. Because I was more prone to Acclimate and Red King, and then they were both on Say the Word. So I
yeah, I mean, I'm going with United as well. Well, that like obviously play him. Actually, you know what? I was going against United. Sorry, I liked Arklow. Yeah, he almost talked me out of Arklow with United. I went 7, 8, 9 here. I think Arklow is better than what he was saying. I honestly do. I think he had a bad thing. The only problem with him is he might get sandwiched early because I'm going to play the 9 as well with the 7, and that's award winner with Dustin Hoffman's. Apparently, he's the trainer. But no, I think they could go. These two could get loose on the lead, like loose on the lead. The 7, 9. When you look at it, and I mean. At a mile and an eighth, yes. Did he get caught by United? But United still got to get a trip back there. He's going to make his own trip, award winner. But at 15-1, I got to put him on the ticket. If I think a horse might go to a big lead or at least be dueling with another horse, I got to play him. Will he get swallowed up? Probably. But it'll be a lot of fun screaming at the TV. Well, actually at the track.
You'll be at the track.
I'll be screaming at the horse. But so I'm just going to go 7, 8, 9. But I'd probably put United in there as well. I'd probably go 4 deep here with the ticket. Like you said, if we're all going to go 4 deep on something,
so you're doing 4, 7, 8, 9? Yeah,
I'd do 4, 7, 8, 9. Just hope for the 7 there. But I really like the 7. I think he definitely can go the distance. And this is a horse that might be, I mean, it looks like it's just an early speed horse when you look at it, but it's really not. It's going this distance, go to lead anywhere. And if he's loose, he can definitely run down the 9. So a 10-1's a steal for this horse. A steal, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with.
Wait, you're talking about award winner or Acclimate? The steal 10.
Acclimate is a steal at 10-1. Acclimate, I think, is a steal at 10-1. I'm not really even understanding it.
Especially with the trainer who has won this 6 of the last 7 times.
Yeah. I don't understand the 10-1 there at all.
I mean, think about the trainer has won 6 of the last 7. His horses are 6-1, 8-1, and 10-1.
Yeah, and he's coming off a loss, and he did have a 1.25 mile loss to award winner. That's the weird part too. Like, I mean, these horses are good. I can't not play award winner if I play Acclimate, so I got to play him too.
Who's making these lines? Mark Patterson?
Oh.
Gonna start that again.
Here we go.
He's not watching. I'm not sure if he knows what the internet is.
Oh, now I got to deal with it. Thanks, guys. All right, I went 4 deep here. United, obviously. Arklow, I feel like was hard not to play throughout his last race. Kind of had a bad race there. Say the Word, like I talked about with Ellis. I went back and forth between that one and the 5 Master of Foxhounds at 8-1. And I'm just gonna put them both in, really. Say the Word's strong. His last performance out in the Eddie Reed Regatta. Yes, he lost to United. But he's coming back. He's been performing pretty decently at grade 1 level. Now they're bringing down to a grade 2. Master of Foxhounds, though, this is an interesting horse to me. We got Kent in the irons this time around. He's won at Del Mar before at this distance. It was a low-level allowance race last year, but this horse he seems to be taken to the track. I think that's really great. I'm interested to see how Kent does here in the irons. But I think at 8-1 to go against United, or at least to play with United, I think those are good options to give you a little bit of value here on your ticket. United is definitely one not to leave off your ticket, though. Let's just be honest. I think we all agree. I think even Ellis was on that as well. because he's singling him in one of his pick threes.
Well, I do have to mention Arklow now, because I did have this note I didn't say, and you just said it. Are we all okay with throwing out Monmouth races now? Like, can we judge a horse on a Monmouth race? Can we?
I think the one thing that I took away from a Monmouth race so far is not like if you're going wire to wire, it was the fact that Rosario came in on Dr. Post and won without the whip from behind.
Yeah, I mean, in some horses
That was the only thing, like a Monmouth race I've seen where I'm like, okay, so without the whip, I mean, still, I mean, you can charge from the back, but I think most of the time I do. I mean, I see it one of my.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like an angle now. Like you look at, okay, you didn't run good at Monmouth, but
just show that race out. Don't judge him on that.
Yeah, are you going to judge a horse by a race at Monmouth when a negative race?
Yeah,
not a positive race. A positive race might mean more because he did it on Monmouth. I understand that, but a negative race, I mean, I don't know. I'm asking people out there. I mean, is that something that we're starting to look at? Where, especially if it's a closer, right? Yeah. I mean, speed's been holding up at Monmouth. There's a reason for that. Don't everybody think? I mean,
yeah.
If at any time it's sitting fourth and fifth, well,
any sort of hanger,
yeah,
I feel like is not going to win at Monmouth. Any sort of hanger, like if you're passing horses without being urged, then you're just a machine at that point. So yeah, I think
right now Monmouth races are about as funny as my face.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yep.
All right,
so those are all our picks for the late pick 4. Ellis gave out he had 2 separate tickets for a late pick 3 that he gave out earlier on his show. I'll go through those really quick. So Ellis's first late pick 3 is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 with the 3 with the 4, 8, 11. The second pick 3 he gave out was 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 with the 4. Those were the late pick 3s that Ellis Starr gave out earlier on our show, and we just gave out the late pick 4.
Yeah. Okay. And what were they?
AJ had 1, 2. I can't read your
7
scribbles.
or 9. 7. I think
7.
1, 2, 7.
Okay. AJ had 1, 2, 7 with the 1, 3, 7 with the 1, 3, 4 with the 3, 4, 7, 11.
Expensive. I don't even know if I have that much money in my account.
It's like that's not much.
What did you have? What's your pick?
Mine is, I don't know. It was the 1, 7, 8 with the 3, 7 with the 2, 3, 4 with the 4, 7, 8, 9.
We are not giving anybody cheap ticket today.
That's not that.
Real quick though, Ellis was 1 deep in the pick 3 at the last.
No, he singled on both separate tickets.
He did 6 deep single and then 3 deep for one of them, and then the other one was 6 deep with a single.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like 18 for the 50 cent and like 12 or something.
Not big tickets he was giving out because he has a single and both of those. So my late pick 4 was the 2, 6, 7 with the 1, 3, 8 with the 2, 4, 9 with the 4, 5, 8, 11.
Oh, yeah, so we're even out like $60 tickets or whatever it is. But all right.
So a little bit pricey. Yeah. A lot of great competition here this weekend. Like we said, there's 2 winning years, but there's a lot of great graded stakes races that are happening prior to these late pick 4 and late pick 3 sequences as well. We have the Del Mar Mile, that's race 7, I believe, which Dan Blacker has hit the road in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horse he gave us a long time ago.
Yep.
Excited to see him run again after winning like 5 in a row and then losing a Raging Bull.
Yeah, that horse is.
And then he got trip, like actual trip. When he had a bad race, when they shipped him, he was stuck on the tarmac for a while. Then it like rained, so he couldn't really train, and like the horses didn't want to be there. So insider
interesting
angle
that
of why.
Interesting that the horse that he beat last time, Smooth Like Straight, is the favorite and hit the road is 5-2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited to see I have two debuts. I shouldn't say anything because I'm excited to see them both, of course. But I do like the Forbidden Kingdom. I do want to see this horse run. I think this horse is something special.
What's the debuts on Saturday?
Race 4.
Oh, Forbidden Kingdom.
Yeah.
I thought this horse ran already.
Yeah. No,
Scratched.
Oh.
Cracked a hoof that day.
Broken
Well,
nail.
Diva.
The diva horse. I know. Silly divas. All right. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys have some luck. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on the YouTube channel so you can stay tuned. AJ and I, and hopefully Randy might make it on Sunday. We are going live with Chip Gerke from Horse Racing Nation to go over his rankings and see how they're going to adjust after Saturday's performance of the Pacific Classic and leading into the Traverse. We have a lot of great content coming out. AJ is going to continue to like
Tom on Tuesdays. Me and Tom on Tuesdays.
I haven't gotten there yet. I was just on Sunday.
Well, you were taking too long.
Okay, sorry. Make sure you check out
Make sure you get to AJ right away.
A Trip to the Minors
apparently-
with AJ and Tom from Tom and Tom Racing. They give out their picks for Wednesday's card of Delaware Park. This week they had luck. They hit their picks. So obviously you guys should be tuning in, and you're going to see this weird ass clown face more often than you'd like this week. So I apologize in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thanks everybody out there. And we do have some other
Yes.
stuff coming up. So Degen Nation, everything going on out there. Stay tuned.
Yes. Good luck.
See
See you later,
everybody.
everybody.